What if I told you that the difference between those who crumble under pressure and those who thrive in chaos isn't talent, luck, or circumstances? What if the secret lies in a 2,000-year-old philosophy combined with the mindset of modern titans who turned their greatest failures into their most spectacular victories? Today, I'm going to reveal the exact formula that transforms mental weakness into unshakable strength. This isn't theory. This isn't motivation. This is a precise, step-by-step system that has been tested by emperors, philosophers, and business legends alike. The ancient secret hidden in plain sight 2,000 years ago in the bustling markets of ancient Rome, a slave named Epictetus discovered something extraordinary. Despite being physically chained, he realized that his mind remained completely free. This revelation became the foundation of Stoicism, a philosophy that would later shape the minds of emperors like Marcus Aurelius and modern leaders who built empires from nothing. The Stoics understood something profound. External events have no power over your internal state unless you give them that power. They developed what I call the invincibility principle, the ability to remain mentally undefeated regardless of external circumstances. But here's where it gets interesting. Fast forward to modern times, and you'll find this same principle being applied by those who turned rejection into resilience, failure into fuel, and obstacles into opportunities. The 3 pillars of mental invincibility. The ancient Stoics identified 3 fundamental pillars that create unbreakable mental strength. These aren't abstract concepts. They're practical tools you can implement starting today. The first pillar, the dichotomy of control, Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't just philosophical wisdom. It's the most practical mental tool ever discovered. Every moment of your life, you're faced with 2 categories of things: what you can control and what you cannot. The mentally weak exhaust themselves trying to control the uncontrollable. The mentally strong focus their energy exclusively on what they can influence. Here's your first daily exercise. Every morning, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things happening in your life right now. For each one, ask yourself, can I directly control this outcome? If yes, decide on one specific action you'll take today. If no, practice letting it go completely. The second pillar, voluntary discomfort. Seneca, the advisor to emperors, regularly practiced what he called poverty training. Once a month, he would live like the poorest citizens, sleeping on the floor, eating simple food, wearing basic clothes. Why? Because he understood that comfort makes you fragile, while voluntary discomfort builds anti-fragility. Modern research confirms what Stoics knew intuitively. When you voluntarily expose yourself to controlled discomfort, you build what psychologists call stress inoculation. You're literally training your nervous system to remain calm under pressure. Your second daily practice. Choose one small discomfort each day and embrace it willingly. Take cold showers, skip a meal, walk instead of driving, sleep on the floor, or have difficult conversations you've been avoiding. Start small, but be consistent. The third pillar, negative visualization. This might sound pessimistic, but it's actually the most optimistic practice you can develop. The Stoics regularly imagined losing everything they valued: their wealth, health, relationships, even their lives. Not to become depressed, but to develop what they called the discipline of desire. When you mentally rehearse loss, two powerful things happen. First, you appreciate what you have more deeply. Second, you build emotional resilience for when real challenges arise. You've already survived the worst-case scenario in your mind, so reality becomes manageable. Practice this weekly. Spend 10 minutes imagining that something important to you is gone. How would you respond? What would you focus on? What would still matter? This isn't dwelling on negativity, it's building mental armor. The modern application, from ancient wisdom to contemporary success. Now, let's see how these ancient principles apply to modern challenges. Consider someone who faced rejection 30 times before achieving success. Instead of seeing each no as a personal failure, they viewed it through the Stoic lens. Each rejection was simply data, not a reflection of their worth. The dichotomy of control taught them to focus on perfecting their approach rather than controlling other people's responses. Voluntary discomfort prepared them for the inevitable rejections. Negative visualization helped them plan for setbacks while maintaining optimism about ultimate success. This isn't just business wisdom, it's life wisdom. Whether you're dealing with relationship challenges, health issues, financial stress, or career obstacles, these three pillars provide a framework for maintaining mental strength. Week 1. Foundation building. Your first week is about establishing the basic practices. Each morning, start with the control exercise. Identify what you can and cannot control about your day. Choose one voluntary discomfort to embrace. End each day by reflecting on what you learned about your mental patterns. The key is consistency over intensity. Don't try to become a Stoic sage overnight. Build the habits gradually, like strengthening a muscle. Mental strength develops through repetition, not through occasional heroic efforts. Week 2. Deepening the practice. By your second week, you'll start noticing something interesting. External events that used to trigger stress responses begin losing their power over you. This isn't numbness, it's genuine strength. You're developing what the Stoics called ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. Now you can add what I call obstacle perception training. Every time you encounter a problem, ask yourself, how is this obstacle actually an opportunity in disguise? The Stoics believed that every obstacle contains the seed of equivalent or greater benefit. Your job is to find it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't positive thinking, it's strategic thinking. You're training your mind to see possibilities where others see only problems. Week 3. Advanced techniques. In your third week, introduce the practice of view from above. This was Marcus Aurelius's favorite technique for maintaining perspective. When facing any challenge, imagine viewing it from increasingly higher altitudes. See yourself from across the room, then from outside the building, then from space. How significant does your current problem appear when viewed from the perspective of cities, countries, continents, the planet, the solar system? This isn't minimizing your challenges, it's right-sizing them. Combine this with what Seneca called premeditation of evils. Each week, choose one area of your life and imagine what you would do if it disappeared tomorrow. This builds emotional resilience and helps you appreciate what you have while preparing for what might come. Week 4. Integration and mastery. Your 4th week focuses on integrating these practices into a seamless approach to life. By now, you should notice significant changes in how you respond to stress, setbacks, and uncertainty. You're not just thinking differently, you're becoming different. The final practice is what I call the evening review. Each night, examine your day through Stoic principles. When did you waste energy on things you couldn't control? When did you avoid necessary discomfort? When did you let external events disturb your inner peace? This isn't self-criticism, it's self-improvement. Epictetus taught that every day we have the choice to be students or victims. Students learn from every experience. Victims are diminished by every challenge. The difference isn't in what happens to you. It's in how you choose to interpret and respond to what happens. The compound effect of mental strength. Here's what most people don't understand about mental strength. It compounds like interest. Each day you practice these principles, you're not just getting through that day. You're building capacity for all future challenges. Think of it like physical fitness. One workout doesn't make you strong, but consistent training transforms your entire physical capacity. Mental strength works the same way. Each time you focus on what you can control, embrace discomfort willingly, or maintain perspective during difficulty, you're building mental muscle that serves you for life. The Stoics understood this compound effect. They didn't practice philosophy as an intellectual exercise. They practiced it as a survival skill. In a world where external circumstances could change instantly, internal strength was the only reliable foundation for a good life. Beyond the 30 days, making it permanent. After 30 days of consistent practice, these techniques should feel natural rather than forced. But this is just the beginning. The Stoics saw philosophy as a lifelong practice, like medicine for the soul. You don't stop taking care of your mental health once you feel better. You maintain the practices that keep you strong. Create what I call Stoic triggers throughout your day. Every time you feel stressed, ask yourself which pillar applies. Is this about focusing on what you can control? Embracing necessary discomfort? Maintaining proper perspective? Having these mental tools readily available transforms how you navigate life's inevitable challenges. The beauty of this system is its simplicity. You don't need special equipment, expensive courses, or perfect circumstances. You need only your mind and the willingness to train it systematically. The Stoics proved that mental strength is a skill that can be developed by anyone, regardless of their starting point. The scientific validation. Modern neuroscience has validated what the Stoics knew intuitively. Practices like meditation, exposure therapy, and cognitive reframing, all core Stoic techniques, literally rewire your brain for greater resilience. When you consistently practice these principles, you're creating new neural pathways that support emotional regulation and stress management. Research on post-traumatic growth shows that people who develop the strongest mental resilience share common characteristics. They focus on what they can control, they find meaning in difficulty, and they maintain perspective during challenges. These are precisely the qualities the Stoics cultivated deliberately. You're not just adopting ancient philosophy, you're applying scientifically validated methods for building psychological resilience. The combination of timeless wisdom and modern understanding creates a powerful toolkit for mental strength. The ripple effect. As you develop genuine mental strength, something remarkable happens. It affects every area of your life. Your relationships improve because you're less reactive and more intentional. Your work performance increases because you focus on what matters most. Your health improves because you're less stressed and more resilient. But perhaps most importantly, you become an example of what's possible. When others see someone navigating life's challenges with calm strength and clear thinking, it gives them permission to develop these qualities themselves. Mental strength is contagious in the best possible way. The Stoics believed that we have a duty to develop our highest potential, not just for ourselves, but for our communities. When you become mentally stronger, you contribute to a stronger world. This isn't self-help, it's service to something larger than yourself, your choice, your power. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue reacting to life's challenges with the same mental patterns that have brought you to this point, or you can begin systematically building the mental strength that will serve you for decades to come. The path isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Every day you practice these principles, you're investing in your future self. You're building the mental capital that will pay dividends in every area of your life. The Stoics had a phrase, memento mori. Remember that you will die. This wasn't morbid thinking, it was motivational thinking. Every day is a limited resource. Every moment is an opportunity to build strength or weakness, wisdom or ignorance, resilience or fragility. The ancient philosophers gave you the tools. Modern science has validated their effectiveness. The choice of whether to use them remains entirely yours. Your 30-day transformation begins now. Starting tomorrow morning, you have everything you need to begin this transformation. No excuses, no delays, no perfect conditions required. Just your commitment to consistent practice and the wisdom of those who have walked this path before you. Remember, you're not trying to control the world around you. You're learning to command the world within you. That's where your true power lies. That's where your freedom begins. That's where your mental strength becomes unbreakable. The next 30 days will pass whether you use them to build strength or not. The question isn't whether you have time. The question is how you'll choose to use the time you have. Your journey to unshakable mental strength starts with your very next decision. Choose wisely, practice consistently, and trust the process. The strongest version of yourself is waiting on the other side of these 30 days. The ancient Stoics left you a roadmap. Modern science has validated the route. The only thing missing is your first step forward. Take it now. The path to mental strength isn't complex, but it requires commitment. These principles have transformed lives for over 2 millennia because they work. They're waiting for you to prove their power in your own life. Your transformation begins with your decision to start.